Salve everyone. Peace to you all of goodwill, of course. I'm going to. I'm recording this. I'm recording this, and I'm going to upload this. This is a recording. The follow up about the report that I made to the FBI. Since the FBI still hasn't done anything about the corruption of Hillary Clinton and also the political world, the corrupt political world. This has to do with the Republicans and Democrats the same. I'm not saying all of them are corrupt, but you could say a 90% are corrupt, 100%. Now, I am going to prove to you that perjury has been ongoing in the courtrooms. I'm going to let you hear a recording of a hearing that I had on September the 14th, 2016, Wednesday. And the hearing number is 7348841M. Now, I'm going to let you hear that perjury was committed by showing you that lawyer judge that was presiding the hearing. At the end, her name is, okay, let me just give you the name of the lawyer judge that was presiding the hearing. Her name is Angel, which it's a fallen angel. And the middle name is UCHE, and the last name is Isidario, or you could say Ezzidario. It depends how you pronounce it. In Italian, you pronounce it Ezzidario. In English, Isidario. Anyway, it's spelled Ezediaro. Once again, Ezediaro. Now, I'm going to let you hear how these hearings are so corrupt. I'm telling you, I've had plenty of them. They have done everything to persecute me and to try to kill me, to take... this has to do with the human resources. Okay, the human resources have done everything to try to persecute and try to get me killed, practically. I'm going to also prove to you that the court system is also corrupt. The family court, the Queen's Family Court in Jamaica Avenue, is 100% corrupt, and the judges that presided my hearings against domestic violence that I had against family members that practically killed me on November the 8th, 2009, and I haven't had justice yet because of a corrupt lawyers, judges, and the police department and everything that's connected with them. And this human resources is also 100% involved in all this corruption, because they were taking away my benefits, that I was trying to survive on when I had to go to court. Now, which I also have proof of a perjury committed in the courtrooms, in the courts, Queen's Family Court in Jamaica. And the lawyers that presided it is the Wicked Witch, Fran Lubo. The last name is spelled Lubow. And also from the judge, let me give you her correct name so that there is no mistaken, Judge Anne-Marie Jolly. Okay, and like I said, and there was also Judge Lubo, Fran Lubo, Lubow. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to prove to you that at the hearing for human resources that I'm going through, heavy metal poisoning. Now, as I am suffering of heavy metal poisoning, at this point I have made it clear who I am. As I am suffering, the earth is suffering because I am Mother Earth, and I am suffering of toxic heavy metal. This is why my teeth are in the front are separated right now. But once I get this heavy metal out of my mouth, they're going to be restored once again, because my I'm going to heal completely from this heavy metal poisoning, which is causing muscle pains, deterioration, and also and nerve damage on my legs and back, and anyway, my whole body is suffering severely, and also my lungs. So let me just get to the point. Now, I had this hearing on, I have to get the information correct before I say anything. On September the 14th, 2016, it was a Wednesday, and the hearing number is 7348841M. And you're going to hear the perjury that was committed by because the judge that was presiding, the judge, which is a lawyer, these are the lawyers that really are supposed to represent the people through, legal system, the legal services, but instead these lawyers are presiding as judges in these hearings, and they're not to help, not to be, impartial. They are absolutely being partial on the side of the corporation. And therefore, this corruption goes also all the way up to, in Albany. Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo is involved, Bill de Blasio, Hillary, the whole Republican party, and they all know about me. Let's put it this way: everyone knows about me, and they have done everything possible to kill me. I'm also going to prove to you that also the news, the media, CNN, the official CNN from New York, is as corrupt as hell. Also, I'll also make you hear a recording that I did once, because the CNN is connected with the CIA. And therefore they have been trying to get me killed from the very beginning. And I'll show you that CNN is one of the most evil Satanist corporation ever. And they are liars. They promote perversions, and it's not only them, it's all the news media from because they're all connected with the political parties. You could see that they're all they're the political politicians are in control of all this, and through them there's the CIA and so forth. Anyway, let's get back to the hearing where the corruption, where the perjury was committed. I'm going to make you hear the whole. I'm just going to shut the part where she says my address, but the rest I'm going to let you hear it, and you're going to hear that she, at the end, she cuts off the recording because she had to harass me to the end. Excuse me if I blow my nose because of the heavy metal poisoning. I have nasal also problems. Okay, now let's listen to the hearing. Here we go. One second, let me pause this 1 second. I'm going to then, after you hear this, and I'm going to make you hear also the one that I recorded, since I've been harassed, and there's been a lot of perjury going on in these hearings, against me, and they have been doing everything possible to have me killed, or die. I recorded my own, on my own, the hearing. So I'm going to make you hear also the missing part. Now let's continue.
Lucia Marte, will that be identify herself? Okay, speaking in for the record. My name is Lucia Marte. Ms. Marte, did you request this hearing because you wish to appeal the agency's determination to discontinue your public assistance comply with the eligibility process, and also because you're seeking an exemption from the work rules due to medical reasons.
Yes.
After I ask some questions, the agency rep will present her case, and you may present your case. Upon completing the hearing, the record will be sent to Albany. The commissioner will render his decision. Is your address? So they're saying there's no discontinuance on your case.
No, I had, a dispute meeting.
Mandatory dispute resolution?
Yes, I had that, and,
Was it resolved?
no, they didn't say nothing at all.
She says that, so did you receive a notice indicating the benefits will be discontinued?
No,
And did your case close?
and so far, no, I'm still.
So then there's no issue, ma'am. If you don't receive a notice saying they're gonna close your case and
They
your
were
case is not
gonna
closed,
close.
then there's no issue. There's no, it's either you receive a notice stating your case is gonna be closed, or if the agency closes your case, you know, without giving you notice. Those are the two grounds under which you could request a hearing. But if you receive a notice of discontinuance and your case did not actually close, then there's no issue.
There's an issue, the fact that they want me to go to the center when I'm still going through health issues.
You have a second issue listening to this hearing, but I'm saying that you stated that the first issue you wanted to discuss was a possible discontinuance of your benefits for a failure to comply with the eligibility process.
Yes.
And that is not an issue.
Because they called me and they told me that they're going to discontinue. That's what I'm.
They don't call people to tell them they're going to discontinue.
I have
We
the phone-
don't deal based on phone calls, like I said. Okay, this is the third time I'm going to say it. It's either you receive a notice saying your case is going to be closed, if you receive a notice that you have a right to request a hearing, or if the agency, without sending you a notice closing your case, you may also request a hearing. You stated that you did not receive a notice of discontinuance, and your case is still active.
And I just received a phone call from the agent.
No, we're not going to go. The commissioner cannot have hearings based on a phone call, an alleged phone call.
I know, I could show you, I could make it here.
No, it's not an issue, ma'am. If your case closes in the future, request a hearing, please. Or if you get a notice stating your request a hearing. Now, the second issue is work rules exemption. It says you're seeking an exemption from the work rules because you have medical issues.
Yes.
Okay? It says the tenant state you missed an appointment on July 21st because she was very ill. And she tried to reschedule the appointment. Do you have the New York City license?
I don't have it right now. I told them that I have the doctor.
Okay, ma'am, have you been assessed by the agency's doctors?
The agency's doctor?
Yeah. Okay, because let me explain. On here, you're saying that you missed an appointment on July 21st because you were very ill.
I was at a doctor's appointment. I have also the MRI, the sonogram that I had that day.
Okay, so just, okay. So, and,
I have also the doctor's, the
so they're saying
hospital
you missed
report.
an appointment because you were very ill. You're saying you went to, you were the doctors. Okay, fine, that's noted. And, it says, you try to reschedule the appointment, and you also stated that your ongoing medical problems prevent you from complying with the work program.
Yeah.
This is what I'm gonna tell you now. Do you have, okay.
I have all my doctor's notes. I have them all here. Could you, put your name on it?
It's at the end of the system. Okay, the notice of work decline submitted by the agency's one. Do you have any other documents?
Could I give you some of the doctor's notes that I've been going to? These are, let me count them, how many
Yeah,
they are.
you don't just give me all notes about it. Okay.
These are, because I'm going through a lot of health issues, and I'm still dealing with that.
Okay, but ma'am,
So this is why I told them that I'm not going to be able to, participate.
okay, ma'am, let me just say something to you. The fact that you have a lot of doctor's appointments does not mean that you cannot participate. When you have a lot of doctor's appointments, all you have to do is get an excuse for each and every day. Now, I'm going to tell you that
They know that I'm going to domestic violence.
the work requirement, it states that you're required to work, that you're found medically work limited, and
By whom?
the agency made that determination. Let me finish, ma'am, please. Okay? Now, they submitted this document. However, they did not submit additional documentation to support how they reached that decision. So basically, you cannot be required to work until the agency cannot put this into effect and cannot take any action against you. Yeah. So basically, in all probability, you're going to be reassessed again. But what I'm trying to tell you is that when they do call you in for reassessment, having a lot of medical appointments doesn't necessarily mean that you're entitled to an exemption. What your doctor should do is, if you have a primary care physician that knows your medical
That's another
condition,
problem.
then your doctor can write a note stating what your medical condition is, and if it affects your ability to work, if it makes you unable to work, your doctor has to be able to put that in writing. Okay? But if you have just regular ongoing medical appointments, that only excuses you from the assignment on the date you have those appointments.
I was literally dying in that period.
Okay, my doctor can't give you a final report
Diagnosis.
until I have all my medical, tests done.
And when does that get to be done?
Well, I'm ongoing. I can't help it that it takes long just to get, an appointment with the doctors. I have an MRI coming. I have to have an MRI because my back is completely destroyed. So I'm practically standing on my feet, going through therapy that my mother has to pay for because the hospital does not cover it. I mean, if I wasn't for these therapy that I'm going to, I wouldn't even be on my feet right
Deep
now.
tissue
And honestly, I don't think I would
massages.
be alive. So until I get all the information, because I'm preparing also a lawsuit, if you must know. So I need all the information, all my medical records before I even start that.
Every day you take your house, and you have to bring a doctor's note stating why you missed it.
The problem is, my health, I can't walk more than half a block without having a.
That's how severe I was in that period.
My lungs are right now are being affected. I'm suffering of heavy metal poisoning. I don't know if you know the gravity of the heavy metal poisoning.
I'm sure your doctors know.
Okay, heavy metal poisoning causes the muscles.
Listen to me. I don't know, but I just said to you, I'm sure your doctors know, so he could write a letter that you could take to the
There's a cover-up going on. That has to do with the medical industry. Anyway, which I have all the proof about this.
Okay, you have a show. I said it to you, should say it to you again. You're not going to get an indefinite exemption, because like I asked you, when is your doctor going to be able to give you a letter? Okay, you said, oh, you're still going through tests. You can't get an indefinite exemption, okay? Point blank period. You're getting, nothing is going to be done against you based on today's hearing, okay? Because the agency does not have enough evidence to support its case. You're going to be called back in, okay? Eventually, you're going to get called back. And if you do get called back in a month, 2 months, saying that, oh, I'm still going through tests, that's not sufficient, okay? You're required, and that's what I was telling you, and you
See, they were going to
kept on
call me.
talking and talking. Your doctor has to be able to write you a letter assessing, and it takes the agency time. They don't really do it overnight or whatever. But when they do get around to doing it, if you want to have an exemption, your doctor that knows your medical condition and has been treating you for a while has to be able to give you a letter that's very specific as to what he can and cannot do. That's the best way to get an exemption, period. Because your doctor knows you better than everybody else. But saying that you're doing tests, you don't know when the tests are ever going to finish, I mean, the laws require that people that are on public assistance work to, it's been the law for more than 20 years, okay? So if you feel that as a result of a medical condition you cannot work, then you have to give the agency documentation to support it. And they're not going to exempt you so that you can just have tests, just open-ended tests.
You make it the way you make it sound like,
Well, that's the way you responded to me, because I told you very
making it sound like I'm having a ball,
Okay, that's not my business. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that.
The way you
I'm
express
not.
yourself, because I'm very good in,
understand it because, ma'am, I explained to you.
She's very
I
aggressive.
told you. Listen, let me say something to you.
You
I
gotta
told
see
you
her
before that this
body.
hearing did not go against you because you did not have
Body
sufficient
movements.
evidence. And I gave you general information. I told you were going to be called back. I didn't even have to tell you that. I told you were actually going to be called back to be assessed. And I told you what you needed to bring at that time, which I don't even know what that time is going to be because based on the agency schedule. But I said, whenever they call you back in, this is what's going to improve your chances of getting a medical exemption, a letter from your doctor. And then you said, oh, you definitely, you never know.
There's a lot
You know?
of,
Okay, so that has...
you don't let me...
No, but the hearing is...
To respond.
You don't have to respond because this hearing went in your favor, okay?
I understand that, but there's also problems with the doctors because there's a lot of cover-ups, all right? That's why I said I'm preparing a lawsuit also.
Okay, so when they call you in, just discuss it with the agency. If you don't have the documents...
I have the documents.
Well, like I said,
hold on, they said that I did not go to the appointment on the 21st. They said they did not receive fax. That is false, okay? Because they've been getting continuous fax from the doctor. So I have never missed an appointment.
They did not close. They're not closing your case. They're not taking any
They were
action.
going to.
They sent a notice saying that you could work,
I have
which is what the
proof of that.
agency presented to me. And I explained to you that whenever they present a notice saying that a person is employable, they have to submit additional documents to support their determination. They do not have that. And that's why I told you it's going to be sent back to the agency and you will have to be reassessed. Okay?
And the problem, like I said, the problem is that I have problems walking. I can't walk more than half a block without because my muscles right now are completely shot. And also my nerves, because of the heavy metal poisoning is affecting my nerves and my muscles. They're deteriorating. I don't know if you know the gravity of
Okay,
that.
I'm not a doctor. I'm
explaining,
okay? So that's the
what's
appointment
going
letter.
on.
That's the appointment letter. I just need you to sign and date that withdrawn from the discontinuance issue because there's no discontinuance in your case. Just on the left-hand side is the one that I said that
What's wrong with
that on the bottom, right there.
This is saying what? That
Basically, the discontinuance, there's no discontinuance on your case. No notice was sent out and there's no, it wasn't closed.
I never signed these things here, so.
Because they were going to close the
Like, you know,
case.
that I'm compliant, that I'm stating that I don't want a hearing.
Ma'am, I've explained to you what you're signing on. You have two issues, okay? You claim that your benefits were discontinued and you also claim your sickness work rules exemption. We have discussed the work rules exemption. You're going to get a decision.
She wanted.
And may I also bring in as proof the message, the cell phone, the telephone message?
Listen, ma'am.
Because
That's what
they
you
told me,
listen, ma'am, listen.
Mr. Captain,
Ma'am,
you're not making me respond.
listen.
What kind of a hearing?
Because I've said this to you 5 times and you're not hearing it. Listen to me, and it's very easy what I said. It's not rocket science. I said to you, people come in here every day saying, I want to have a hearing on the discontinuance of my benefits. This is the things the commissioner looks for. Listen, this is the things the commissioner looks for, okay? You may receive a notice at home saying, Ms. Marte, we're going to close your case because you failed to do this. Once a person receives that kind of a notice, they have a right to request a hearing. Okay, now the agency is required to send a notice whenever they make a decision to close your case.
This is the
Every
paper
once
that
in a
she
while,
wanted me to sign.
There's an error. They don't send out a notice.
You
They just
see?
close the case. And
This
that's why
is
I
where
told
she
you,
wanted me
either
to
you receive a
sign.
notice saying your case is going to be closed, or even if you didn't receive a notice and one day you called on the card or whatever.
And I
the
refused
number
because
and
I
say
wanted a
your case
hearing.
is closed. Then you have a right to request a hearing. None of those situations apply to you.
I received a phone call. I received 2 phone calls, to be honest. One
It's going to be a non-issue. You're not going to get a hearing on a discontinuance because there's no discontinuance.
They were
okay?
going
You're
to
not.
discontinue it.
Which paper? This is my appointment paper. You didn't give me anything.
You're not going to get a notice on the, you just,
And now see, at this point, she shut the recording. Okay, and now I'm gonna let you hear the rest of what went on. The way she, okay, this is the rest of this is my recording now that I recorded. I'm gonna just let you hear well, this is the beginning, and then I'll let you hear the end part. just to make sure that, you know, this is the recording. And this is only for self-defense against tyranny, against that I have been harassed and persecuted, and almost they tried to kill me in numerous of times. So I recorded my own just for self-protection against the corrupt. Okay. Okay, so you could hear this is the hearing. I'm going to make you hear now the end part where I already put it forward. Here, wait, I went a little bit too much ahead. This is where she's. They were going to close it.
Yes, because I've been through this already. Because I've been through with the job center. You don't know what they have put me through. It's the work.
It's the Human Resources Job Center.
It's all because of the job center. You have no idea what they have put me through. The harassment, what they have put me through.
So at this point, you see that they committed perjury because they had already closed the recording. They did not record this part. She cut it. So that's committing perjury because by closing the recording, they did not record how the hearing actually went. And this is one of the many. Another time, one of the judges, they gave him the name of SOS, which I believe is a senator of state. He committed perjury because he took my, I gave evidence, it was a flash drive that had recordings that would have proved my case. Instead, he then took it and he wasn't giving it, he wasn't going to present it. He hid it. I believe I already uploaded that. I'm not sure if I already uploaded that one. I've never been able to find out what was his name, but it was a senator of state for Albany, and which is connected with the whole political system and what's going on in Albany. I also have from Albany, I received a letter. Okay, so the case was closed there. I received a letter that was stained. Okay, the envelope is perfect and the letter is stained, which I believe is also anthrax. That's how you call it. Let me see here. I'll tell you when that letter was, which I still have it saved. I received the letter on November the 10th, 2012, Saturday. I posted the letter on my Facebook, where you could see the envelope is perfectly clean, but the letter is stained with some dark, questionable, and 100%. I feel sure that it is some deadly chemical, anthrax or something like that. And like I said, that was on November the 10th, 2012, and that letter is posted on my Facebook. Now, I'm going to prove to you also now that the media, CNN, because once I went to the CNN building in New York, and let me get that recording now. CNN, let me see the date that it was on. I'm looking at the properties where it tells you the date. Details. Okay, I believe that was in August 30, 2011. And I had gone there a few times attempting to report, domestic violence that's going on, which also has to do with the that it has to do with the spiritual also thing, and also the fact that they did that I was killed on November the 8th, 2009, and I was trying to report this. So I had spoken to, I still have the cards. Okay, this is the card. Let me see if you could see it here. Okay, this is the card. I had spoken to Howard Vincent. This was in the lobby downstairs. And I also with Sam Cotto. Okay, and these are still the cards. And they gave me this card, I think, on March 2nd, 2010. I went there also in July 19, 2010, always on a Tuesday. And then I also tried with the New York Post. I tried to report, the corruption that's going on in the courts and everything. But since the media works for the government that is trying to kill me, of course I wasn't going to get anywhere. So I tried to get into the, to try to report this to the CNN. And I was calling Sam Gatto, and in my phone call was cut off by someone interrupted my phone call, and they started speaking, which I believe was the CIA, because afterwards I seen that there was, like when in the movies you see those, like these undercover agents, that they sit and they're like as if they're reading a newspaper. Well, that's what was happening. There was a man out there outside the building that was faking that he was reading the newspaper because he was an agent 100%. And they cut into my phone call, and they were telling me that Sam Gatto's father was dead, that Sam Gatto did not work anymore over there. Let me show you that he did not work anymore over there, and that he was in Atlanta, that they transferred him in Atlanta. I'm going to let you hear when I called back, then they would, with a wicked laugh. Oh, they were like, ooh. And I was saying, but no, it can't be that, that Sam Gatto's father was very ill, something like that he was dying. They were saying something like that. Anyway, so I called back the CNN, let me see here. And I recorded it, and I was recording it. The other one I couldn't record because they cut that phone call. So this is the recording that this was on August 30, date created, August 30, 2011 at 8:52. Well, no, that's when I probably uploaded it. Anyway, the phone call it should be on my phone records. This is the phone call. Listen.
Okay, may I ask you something? Did Sam Gatto just get fired?
I'm sorry?
Did Sam Gatto get fired?
Who was it? I'm not going to give that kind of information.
No, I'm asking you because I don't know if this phone is being controlled also. Someone picked up his phone before.
I couldn't tell you.
Is he, I just want to know if he's there or not.
I know, man, but I can't give you that kind of information.
All right, listen, there's something strange going on, all right? Because they told me that he got fired and that you're not in the building anymore, that you just, how do you say it, at Atlanta.
I was agitated.
That the news is being shown in Atlanta?
I don't know who you spoke to.
I have no idea. Someone picked up his phone. It was crazy. He was saying that it was Sam Gatto's father. I have no idea. All right, I'm just warning you. There's something strange going on. Okay? Okay. I'm sorry if I disturbed you. Okay? All right.
Okay, ma'am.
Be careful. God bless you.
Thank you.
I couldn't let them know who I was back then, but anyway. So that was the phone call at the CNN building. Then, soon after that, I went to the police department down the block. It was like a block or 2 blocks away, trying to report also, the corruption that has been ongoing. There was no help over there either, because the chief police over there is also a Satanist. And how do I know that? Because afterwards we went. I told him that I needed to show him, some, like evidence or something, and I showed him the picture of the Blessed Mary, the Virgin Mary, which is, which is who I am. And at that point, when I showed him this picture, he practically jumped back. He leaped back, as if, when the devil sees, God, the fear in them is enormous. Anyway, I'm looking up the information where that the police officer that let me see if I find it, that I spoke to that day. Hold on a second. There's so much information here that I've been collecting. Troubled politicians. Okay, I'm gonna have to look in another file, which I do have it somewhere. Anyway, if you look through my videos, you're gonna see that that I have been reporting this. This has to do with Hillary Clinton, okay, mainly. And also it's the whole political system. The whole political system. That's why I must put a stop to them. And if the FBI does not do if they do not arrest them, you know, because Trump is involved also, and the whole political party is involved. Let me see if I could find the name of that police officer that I went down. It's like a block and a half away from the CNN building. Let me see where I put it, because I have all the information on my just give me a second, patience, because I need to upload this as soon as possible, because I have to leave also. So I want to upload this because I'm going straight to the FBI's in the afternoon, and if they don't do something about this now, it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late, because the devil is going to kill them all. The ones that deserve to be punished are going to be punished. Believe me, they're going to be taken down, because the devil is at the maximum. And I'm the only one that could stop it. And the only way to stop all this is, first of all, everyone must put down their guns. Second, the law must be upheld. And if there is no justice, the devil is always going to win. And the devil is going to kill. It's going to kill. There is no stopping it. And like I said, the only one that could stop all this is me. Because I'm the only one that could defeat it. Because I am the law. And if they don't allow me in the court buildings where I belong, because I am Lady Justice, then the devil is going to have their way with them. And if the court buildings are not cleaned up, let me see, I think I'm finding it. Not cleaned up of the corruption that has to do with the political industry, because it's all about money. They're so perverted. They're all Satanists. A good part of the politicians are Satanists. They're perverted. They're disgusting. I'm going to call them for what they are. Hold on a second. They're drug dealers, prostitution, they kill innocent children, okay, here we go. Okay, so I went down the block. I'm sorry about that delay. I went down the block, and so I went, it's on 54th Street, New York, 10019 is the zip code. And the officer that I spoke with was Officer Joseph Dunne, Dunne. And when I showed him the picture, well, that just proved that he was a Satanist. The picture of my, of me, the Virgin Mary. He practically leaped, like as if he was pushed by, an enormous force, because the devil can't stand next to me. So therefore, that's why, he took that leap, because, the energy that the pure energy, they can't stand next to pureness because of their wickedness. Anyway, also his his son. Anyway, his son also had critically hurt after firing father's gun. What goes around comes around, practically. That's what happens with guns. When you use guns, you bring the devil into your home, and the devil is going to kill anyone that's connected with the guns. It doesn't. There is no favoritism for the devil. The devil just kills. And I already exposed who that is. So all you have to do at this point is look at all the postings that I have done, which are all the revelations. Now at this point, I'm going to upload this, and I'm going to go then to the FBI's, and if they don't do something to stop this, then it's going to be too late for everyone, because justice must be served. And if they're going to continue to allow all this evilness to continue, and this perversion, and this drug pushing, and this all these potheads, weed is what you pull out, because it damages the wheat. You don't want any weed, but since there is so many that are filling their bodies of the spirit that comes from the weed, which is evil. It's all about money. Remember, the root of all evil is money, and a lot. 90% of the population worldwide has sold their soul for money, power, arrogance, self-worship. They're narcissists. That's the problem. Anyway, so this is the revelation.